seen a more controversial entity than D-Generation X.
D-Generation X was the rebellious, anti-establishment faction within WWE.
Had Triple H, Shawn Michaels, X-Pac, Billy Gunn, Road Dogg, and of course you had Chyna.
Their mission was to push boundaries, provoke discomfort, and entertain fans in a way that was both thrilling and outrageous.
For you.
Suck it! Suck it!
It became a battle cry.
We got 2 words for you! Suck it! Let's get ready to suck it!
They became a rallying cry for a generation. With their cocky, arrogant demeanor, D-Generation X embodied a sense of cool that resonated deeply with 90s American pop culture. Their influence was akin to that of legendary bands like the Beatles. Wherever they went, they created a whirlwind of excitement and chaos. However, as with many high-energy movements, there came a time when things took a darker turn. Members faced personal struggles that seemed to strip away their essence. What started as a vibrant collective eventually felt diminished.
Did there used to be more of us?
They defined maybe the most memorable time ever in WWE.
Though some moments were undeniably juvenile or crude, they represented a crucial shift in what was acceptable on television.
Should we be doing that now? No. There's no real place for D-Generation X today, as far as I'm concerned. But it is fun to look back on.
You will never forget D-Generation X!
Every phenomenon has its shelf life. In the early 90s, WWE was somewhat stagnant, relying on tried and true methods without truly understanding the evolving cultural landscape.
What was traditionally hip in wrestling is no longer hip.
DX emerged to declare that wrestling would not remain static. They were determined to shake things up and challenge the status quo.
You look at DX, what comes to mind is, well, kind of exactly what it is. Degenerates. Degenerates within the sports entertainment world.
You think of rebels who defied authority and ignored societal norms, doing everything that was considered off limits in the industry.
The X was Triple H and Shawn. The New Age Outlaws, Chyna, X-Pac. But DX, to me, will always be Triple H and Shawn. It was the brainchild of that friendship that started DX.
We are the business today.
Here is Shawn Michaels. Talk about being in love with yourself.
The Heartbreak Kid was a captivating blend of influences reminiscent of Elvis, Freddie Mercury, and a touch of Judas Priest. Each of these icons exuded confidence in their artistry and embraced their sexuality.
It is fact that I am the sexiest man alive.
This is a grown man shaking his ass, and he's got the shaps, and the song is just so obnoxious.
Shawn Michaels has got that certain something that everybody's looking for.
Showcasing a bold persona that was both flamboyant and audacious. His character allowed him to express a side that was unapologetically himself. When he first adopted the Heartbreak Kid persona, he began to embody this cocky, self-assured attitude.
I want you to take a good look at the wrestler of the 90s.
Over time, he truly evolved into that character. The Heartbreak Kid was brimming with confidence, arrogance, and a larger-than-life presence. While he may not have been the tallest wrestler, his attitude certainly commanded attention.
Shawn Michaels is leaving.
If you were to ask anyone about Shawn Michaels from that era, one of the first descriptors would likely be brash. He even referred to himself in those terms. In contrast, Triple H played the role of the grounded counterpart, the one who kept things in check.
It wasn't always easy being Shawn's friend. He was the little guy with the chip on his shoulder.
You will not ever see a man more charismatic, more flamboyant, or more talented than the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn
For
Michaels.
the longest period of time, I didn't care for Shawn at all. He was hard to deal with, and I didn't appreciate it. But there was no one that I'd rather work with in the ring.
He was the smaller guy with a chip on his shoulder, feeling overlooked despite his immense talent. This frustration, compounded by struggles with substance use, fueled his anger. Rather than seeking validation, he leaned into being provocative.
They're not going to give me a pat on the back, so I'm going to be obnoxious about it. It just started to turn to anger. After a while, it just got to be... I at least need to have that. that. The only guys I got real with were my buddies, the Click, Hunter and Kev and Scott. Kid.
The Click, his close-knit group of friends, was instrumental during this time. They shared experiences, opinions, and frustrations about the wrestling industry. In the early 90s, they collectively recognized that WWE's product felt outdated. This group of self-proclaimed too-cool-for-school wrestlers had a significant impact on shaping the direction of wrestling.
Hard to argue with that looking back.
The 90s became known as the decade of the anti-hero. As American pop culture began to embrace darker themes in music, television, and film,
Here is
as pop culture in America is getting darker, WWE is like the complete opposite. A lot of cartoon characters, everyone in WWE had a job.
the goal was to elevate wrestling to a level where adults could proudly declare their fandom without embarrassment. It was clear that the industry needed a transformation. In Indianapolis, tensions were at an all-time high for Kevin Scott and Shawn. They found themselves in a casual conversation, but it quickly escalated into frustration. They reached a breaking point and decided that enough was enough. They needed to contact Vince. When they reached out, Vince expressed skepticism, acknowledging their passion, but suggesting that it wasn't the right moment for change. He believed he understood what the audience wanted, but the current direction wasn't yielding the desired results. It took their insistence for him to reconsider, which highlighted how dire the situation had become.
Reluctant. He feels like he has a good idea of what people want, and it just wasn't working out. And we had to leave for Vince to go, okay. I mean, it shouldn't have to get to that point.
As 1996 progressed, WCW emerged as a fierce competitor, aggressively pursuing new talent, specifically established stars from WWE. This created a challenging environment within WWE. On May 19th, 1996, during a non-televised house show, we managed to sneak in a camera past security. This event marked the final night for Diesel and Razor Ramon in WWE, as they had both accepted offers from WCW. It was their farewell performance. That evening, Shawn faced Diesel in a cage match, culminating their long-standing rivalry. At that time, Diesel played the role of the villain while Shawn was the hero. The match concluded with Shawn delivering a super kick to Diesel. In a surprising twist, after an intense 20-minute battle, Shawn embraced and celebrated with Diesel, an unexpected moment that sent the crowd into a frenzy.
I'm screaming like a little girl.
Fans were ecstatic, witnessing something unprecedented in wrestling history. It felt like they were breaking the fourth wall, openly acknowledging the scripted nature of their conflict. This candidness was considered taboo in wrestling, challenging the unspoken agreement about the reality of the sport. In the world of professional wrestling, this approach blurred the lines of believability, leaving many fans feeling unsettled.
Ooh, everybody's pissed.
Everyone interpreted it as a disrespect to the business rather than a display of camaraderie. There was nothing left to be done for Razor and Diesel. They were now under WCW's banner. With Shawn as the champion, there were limitations. Vince made it clear to Shawn, don't ever do that again. As for Hunter, Vince indicated that they couldn't move forward with him following that incident.
One of Vince's famous quotes, you're going to have to learn to eat like the taste of it. I was supposed to win King of the Ring, and he said, obviously, that's not going to happen now. I said, okay. As I was leaving, I turned back to him and I said, this goes back to what we were talking about in Indianapolis. What was the loudest reaction in Madison Square Garden? I don't understand how that's wrong. The business is changing. We got to change with it.
Triple H accepted the setback. That moment, which offered a glimpse into reality, laid the groundwork for DX. At that time, Shawn Michaels and Triple H were closely linked.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Monday Night Raw. Here he comes.
Following the curtain call, Shawn remained at the top, while Triple H found himself starting from scratch. He was originally set to claim the King of the Ring title, but it ultimately went to Stone Cold Steve Austin, a decision that would significantly alter wrestling history.
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.
Triple H had to rebuild his career from the ground up. The creative setback he faced was substantial.
Nice looking couple, 2 and 3.
His standing in the company diminished, and he was no longer viewed with the same level of esteem.
He wasn't looked at as exaltingly as he once was. And I said this to him, you just gotta let the water go under the bridge, and you gotta get past it somehow. Maybe you want to reinvent yourself a little bit.
I must say I'm impressed with the resilience of Hunter Hearst, too.
As his punishment began to fade, he received word that they were ready to give him another chance. The industry was evolving, and Vince proposed a gradual shift away from his blue blood persona towards something more aligned with his true self. They believed that pairing him with a strong presence would provide a fresh perspective. During this time, Shawn and Triple H encountered Joni, an impressively fit young woman who immediately caught their attention.
She was an extremely impressive and jacked young lady. You could not help but notice her. Right away, we were like, oh my goodness.
Shawn and I both looked at each other at the same time and were like, that's my heater. No one's ever done that in the business before.
The idea of having a female bodyguard was a captivating concept, especially one as striking and formidable as Chyna. They pitched this to Vince, but he was not impressed at all. He thought it was one of the worst ideas ever.
And he hated it. Didn't see it at all, like thought it was the dumbest idea of all time.
I believe we were in Tampa, and we had breakfast with Shane, and he thought it was a fantastic idea.
Vince, on the other hand, said that if she hadn't already signed with WCW, she could be part of their team, but he warned that if she didn't perform well or caused issues, it would be their responsibility. On a memorable Monday night, my first encounter with Chyna was unforgettable when she grabbed Terry Runnels and tossed her around effortlessly. It looked like Terry had no strength left in her body. My reaction was one of astonishment. I had never witnessed anything like it before. Everyone, Jim Ross, Jerry Lawler, and viewers at home, was equally puzzled, wondering who this incredible woman was.
I have no idea what this is about. That was a huge woman, an Amazon-like woman.
Chyna was a towering figure who shattered the typical image of women in sports entertainment. Chyna truly changed the game regarding how female wrestlers were perceived. While there had been women involved in wrestling before, none possessed the raw strength and presence that Joni brought. Seeing a woman serve as muscle for a male wrestler was something entirely new. Initially, you might not grasp why it felt different, but you knew you were witnessing something groundbreaking, and that was Chyna. Her arrival marked an unprecedented moment in wrestling history. This was the kind of excitement fans had been waiting for. After Hall and Nash departed, the business took a downturn. Attendance was dwindling, and they often found themselves performing in smaller venues.
WWE is not trending in the right direction.
Shawn was struggling significantly during this period. He was in a downward spiral, and many were questioning his ability to perform as champion. The pressure was taking its toll on him, and I could see him unraveling. There were instances where Shawn came to work under the influence, and his mood swings became increasingly erratic.
I want to come out here and look like a blithering idiot on live TV. Believe me, I'm gonna do it. Why? Because I care.
When they arrived in Lowell, Massachusetts, that night marked Shawn's infamous moment of losing his smile.
Here, ladies and gentlemen, to surrender the World Wrestling Federation Championship.
I wasn't in a great place. The reality is, when you're a drug addict, you don't think well. Your judgment isn't great.
Over the last couple months, there's been a lot of talk, a lot revolving around this belt. One thing that's not going to revolve around this belt is going to be Shawn Michaels.
In his mind, he believed the issue lay not with himself, but with his surroundings. He sought his release, convinced that he would find happiness in WCW alongside his friends.
The last several months, I've lost a lot of things, and one of them has been my smile.
He felt it would be best for everyone involved if he moved on and accepted whatever consequences followed.
Vince just said no, and he understood that, look, what you enjoy about this job is the creativity and the chance to go out there and do what you believe is your art, and they won't allow you to do what it is you want to do. So whether it was from a business standpoint or a personal standpoint, he wasn't going to release me.
The losing his smile incident represented a moment where Shawn felt he needed to step back for his own well-being. At that time, WWE was grappling with challenges on multiple fronts, competing against WCW for viewership on Monday nights. while also dealing with internal struggles regarding relevance. It was a historic moment when another promotion posed a real threat to WWE's dominance, making the situation even more difficult and demoralizing for everyone involved. Every expense within WWE was scrutinized meticulously. They had to assess their needs, identify areas where they could cut back, and devise strategies for recovery. It was clear that significant changes were necessary due to the dire state of business.
This was a moment where things needed to change. Business was bad. Bad. It was dying.
And the World Wrestling Federation kept pushing Shawn Michaels. I told you time and time again, don't push me!
During this period, Shawn was filled with bitterness and anger.
You push, and you push, and you push, and what happens when you push the Heartbreak Kid? You get a reaction!
I'm a little bit at a point like, listen, I'm gonna do what I want to do. What's the worst that's gonna happen? DX is born.
You no longer know what's hip. Traditionally, hip in wrestling is no longer hip.
Vince often remarked that Shawn Michaels reminded him of a younger version of himself, defiant and full of attitude.
We are what is cool.
As a result, Vince was willing to accommodate most of Shawn's requests as long as they were reasonable.
We are the business today.
It was filling a need for me personally with the friendship that Hunter and I had, and Jolene was coming with us. And it goes back to see society, the sort of rebellious atmosphere that was going on.
As Generation X represented a countercultural, anti-establishment mindset. For the company's survival, D.X became a necessary thorn in the side of the establishment.
I'm using this vehicle against you.
I saw it as inmates had taken over the asylum.
You're a disgrace to professional wrestling. You're nothing but a degenerate.
The show was going to be all about them, and they minimized everyone else to entertain themselves.
We said what we wanted to say.
I got 2 words for the Hitman.
We went places you weren't supposed to go.
Suck it!
Yeah, I mean, it pissed off everybody.
Many fans look back at the period from 1995 to 1997 and consider it Shawn's peak, especially since he was unrestrained during that time.
The Heartbreak Kid is in this business because this business needs the Heartbreak Kid.
I wasn't scared of anything. I didn't care about my life. I didn't care about money. I didn't care about anything.
In a creative field that felt like the Wild West, that mindset made him virtually unstoppable.
Michaels and even more juvenile Hunter Hearst.
And people had said to me my whole career, you haven't lived enough life to hate. Yeah, when you learn to have hate, you're gonna make a fortune in this business. That anger, that hatred inside of you will burn, and you'll be able to put that out there real.
Triple H, I want you to unload. This is what you've been waiting for, buddy. Get him.
The early promos we created were filled with raw emotion and anger. It was a new experience for me, whether due to circumstances like the infamous curtain call or various restrictions placed on us. There was always a sense of being held back.
I've been sitting back for a couple of years.
That frustration fueled Shawn's desire to prove he could achieve more.
While you and the World Wrestling Federation have spread your legs like some cheap whore.
If you revisit the promo he delivered to Vince, you'll see how genuine it was. I vividly remember watching him deliver that promo and noticing the shift in Vince's expression as he listened. In that moment, I thought to myself, he might have just crossed a line.
I am now taking it in my hands, and there is no stopping us now.
Before DX, there really wasn't a group quite like them. They were established stars who had reached their breaking point
Oh, here we go.
In my fire.
and decided to shake things up from the inside.
He went to a break. How convenient.
They were testing every limit and pushing boundaries like never before.
Every week we're going on T and we're crossing a line. We're coming back and Vince is going, you can't say that, guys. You can't do that.
We might have to change our name to Double D Generation X.
I remember sitting with the other wrestlers as we watched the show unfold each week. We'd glance at each other thinking, can they really say that? Are they allowed to go there? It felt like they might as well have been shouting, suck it.
1, 2, 2, get!
Disgusting. And you've got a smile on your face.
It became a rallying cry. Back in high school, my friends would tease each other like that all the time. It was something everyone understood.
I don't think it was over the line. We were getting our tails kicked in the ratings. DX took it to the very tipping point of going too far. But that's what we needed.
The ratings started to climb. The shock value of their antics was creating the controversy.
Bret Hart, obviously you're not in a very good mood considering the antics of Shawn Michaels and Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
On the flip side, you had Bret Hart voicing his concerns about what DX was doing on TV, claiming it was disrespectful to the business. But honestly, DX didn't care about that at all.
You're a guy that has degraded the championship belt.
Bret did have an issue with DX, and I'll give him credit for coining their name. During one of his promos, he referred to them as degenerates.
Why don't you two degenerates come down here right now?
And that's where I remember sitting there with Vince, and it's like, they are. Degenerates. They're Degeneration X. The X was born.
We are Degeneration X. You make your rules, and we will break them.
Yeah, I can't say I liked it. That whole direction into the smut era. I don't get along with anybody else.
DX emerged during a pivotal moment in wrestling, ushering in what many referred to as the smut era.
You talked enough.
I can say that most of the guys in the dressing room were kind of disgusted with it.
Many wrestlers in the locker room were taken aback by their behavior. It was a frequent topic of conversation among the talent, with concerns about how DX was perceived by fans and management alike. They were known for pushing boundaries, and their segments quickly became must-see television.
Shawn and I both got jumbo weenies.
Can you believe that this is what they're doing?
But Chyna,
How dare they?
show us what you bring to the barbecue, girl.
They're ruining our children.
That is the big stick.
As the world around us evolved and became edgier, wrestling had to adapt or risk falling behind.
Oh no. Wait a minute. There we go. Crowd here loves it.
DX thrived on the crowd's energy, often taking their performances to extremes. However, this didn't come without consequences.
Do that. We're going like, hey, we're going nuts. Sorry. Got a call from USA Network yesterday. You guys are going to get us taken off the air. They're going to go to black.
The USA Network had sent Vince a letter not being happy with some of the things that we had done on television.
Vince confronted Triple H and Shawn about it, asking how they planned to address the situation.
Both Shawn and I were like, can we use it?
At that point, Vince was feeling a bit rebellious himself and was inclined to push back against USA's concerns.
My fellow Americans.
Referencing Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky in their promos was a clever move. It shifted the narrative from simply doing whatever they wanted to making a statement about the culture they were reflecting.
References. Hey, watch your mouth.
They weren't just crossing lines, they were mirroring the edginess of American society.
Did not sleep with that young intern. As a matter of fact, I was up all night.
Triple H received a call from Vince regarding USA's feedback, and rather than being discouraged, Vince expressed his enthusiasm for what they were doing.
Ratings are going up. Your segments are hot. So now, we were emboldened before. Gloves are off now. We are doing whatever we want.
WrestleMania is now X-rated.
We were like the Howard Sterns of the wrestling world.
Some of it felt juvenile or crude, but it was a necessary shift in the industry.
It was a transformation of what we're allowed to do on TV.
So parents, get your children's permission to watch.
Iron Mike Tyson is here.
Discretion is advised, but will be completely ignored.
WrestleMania 14 was a whirlwind event featuring Shawn Michaels, Steve Austin, and Mike Tyson. At that time, Mike Tyson was an enormous star, arguably the biggest in the world.
All in the main event of WrestleMania 14. No one was as big as Mike Tyson was in the late 90s. People were scared of Mike at that time. All you thought about with Mike Tyson was him knocking people out.
Shawn was battling injuries and was heavily medicated after his casket match with The Undertaker.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is a casket match.
I had done the casket match with Taker.
I threw him over the top rope, over this giant coffin, and I think he clipped his back.
I just didn't quite get far enough. Bam, I just hit the corner on my low back. Wake up the next day and I can't move. I blew the disc and all that kind of stuff, and he said, "You can't wrestle." And I said, "Nobody tells me what to do, so I'll dope myself up and we'll make it to WrestleMania, then I'll let my career begin."
Shawn was battling injuries and was heavily medicated after his casket match with The Undertaker.
And really overdoing it.
But there was also just a lot going on up here with Shawn. His drug use was out of control.
His struggles with painkillers and muscle relaxants were evident, and it was disheartening to witness.
Today, I think Shawn became a little more irrational.
You don't just do this stuff for the jollies, pal. You do it because you're a jock.
As Shawn faced his challenges, he understood that he would need time away to heal. Hunter became a reliable figure during this period. If Shawn couldn't perform, Hunter was ready to step in. This presented an opportunity for Hunter to rise as a leader within DX.
There were conversations with me about going forward with DX from there. There was also conversations that I knew that were happening of like, can he do that on his own?
Since he was still seen as secondary to Shawn at that time. The challenge was significant. Replacing someone like Shawn Michaels isn't easy. There's only one Shawn Michaels after all.
He got it! The Stunner! Mike Tyson in! Austin is the champion! Stone Cold!
For many fans, DX was synonymous with both Shawn and Hunter. The dynamic they shared was unique, akin to a classic comedy duo. But could Hunter truly step into that spotlight alone? The following night, Hunter was approached by a mix of people. Half were urging him to really deliver, saying that if he didn't, the whole thing would flop. The other half seemed skeptical, doubting his ability to pull it off.
When you set out to do what no one else can do, you look to your friends. You look to the clique. Well, look who's back.
When Scott Hall and Kevin Nash made their exit to WCW, X-Pac was also set to leave. However, he faced a serious setback. He had an overdose during a production meeting right before a show. Vince McMahon intervened and sent him to rehab. Consequently, he was still in rehab when the infamous curtain call took place. Vince later met with him to discuss his options. If he wanted to go to WCW, he could have a week to decide. Otherwise, he'd find himself in a similar situation as Hunter.
So I went to WCW.
After some time, he found himself fired from WCW. Upon learning this, Hunter reached out to him, mentioning that Shawn was preparing to take time off and that he wanted to continue the DX legacy. Hunter proposed that they could co-lead DX together, and that's how it all began.
One of my best friends of my entire life, Triple H, he says, DX needs your help. And it starts to...
When X-Pac made his return, the crowd went wild. Now the lineup included Triple H, Chyna, and X-Pac. But that wasn't all for that night. Later on, the New Age Outlaws faced off against Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie, Terry Funk, in a tag match. Suddenly, DX made their presence felt by interfering in the bout. Cactus and Terry were brutally attacked. It got intense. The aftermath left us with a powerful image of the new DX. The New Age Outlaws, Triple H, X-Pac, and Chyna standing tall in the ring.
My God, they're stronger than ever!
Body's attention.
Who would have imagined that after losing arguably the best performer of our time, Shawn Michaels, DX would not only survive, but thrive.
This is my DX, my army! Let's get ready to suck it!
The second iteration of DX had no business being as impactful as the first, yet with Road Dogg, Billy Gunn, X-Pac, and a reinvented Triple H at the helm, this version of DX became iconic in its own right. In my view, DX had two distinct phases. The first was characterized by Shawn and Hunter's defiance against authority. The second phase was cooler and more relatable. Everyone wanted to sport DX merchandise and shout, "Suck it." Fans were hooked on DX because they never knew what to expect next. One of DX's most unforgettable moments was their infamous invasion. By spring 1998, WCW had dominated the ratings for 83 consecutive weeks. The WWE was finally catching up, but rather than just competing for viewers on Monday nights, WCW decided to run shows in the same cities as WWE at the same time.
If we were going into a marketplace, they would try to go in there a few weeks before us, put tickets on sale, try to kill our business. I was on a creative call maybe couple of weeks earlier, and we were all just bullshitting about what they were doing, and man, these guys are running the scopes just down the street. A joke was made on that call about freaking just get a tank and roll it down there, you know, and then that slowly became a, what if we did something on that?
Attention!
WCW, goodbye. Well, you are done.
You're going to drive a tank into their territory and use a loudspeaker to get their attention. Everyone involved was excited about it.
Generation X spits in the face of WCW.
Taking such risks meant there would be significant repercussions. WWE had only 2 major buyers in the industry, and they were about to burn bridges. When WWE asked if everyone was on board with the plan, everyone enthusiastically agreed.
Generation X knocks at your door. It's Jonathan closing the gate. WCW is a bunch of flowers.
They started banging on WCW's door, calling out for Eric Bischoff to come out and say hello.
All we want to do is talk.
Looking back now, it seems almost absurd that Bischoff didn't open the door. He could have had one of the hottest segments of the time right on his show.
Just pisses me off. Because had I known, had I been aware in the moment, because I was doing live television, I was in the freaking ring with a microphone in my hand. Had I had the time to process this and react quickly enough, I would have told them to open the doors and let them in. We're going to have the greatest television show of all time. It would have been awesome. I just didn't get that opportunity.
As soon as WWE knocked on WCW's door, their ratings surged past WCW's, marking a turning point that signaled something extraordinary was unfolding. In the mid-90s, during a period of explosive growth, it felt like the arrival of the Beatles.
No matter where they went, you had the New Age Outlaws, megastars. You had X-Pac, megastar. Chyna, megastar. And you had Hunter, and he sat on top of the heap.
They were just thrilled to be at work and to spend time together. Chyna was the crucial element that tied everything together. She was truly the magic ingredient that made it all work. What stands out most to me about DX in everyday life is the infamous chop.
Come on.
There's just this bad boy edge to it that was so much fun.
Now, the crotch chop has permeated popular culture. Many people can be seen doing it in various contexts without even knowing its origin. For those of us from that era, it became a common sight, even on graduation stages, and likely led to more school suspensions than anything else in American schools.
You know, I'm hanging out with DX. Yeah, we're doing a lot of fun stuff, we're having a good time, but what am I doing? Is it getting me any closer to where I want to be? Nobody wants to see me fight Steve Austin for the belt. We're a bunch of good guys people like, but because I'm a fan favorite and he's a fan favorite, nobody wants to see us go at it, so they're not going to push that. So, you know, you have to take things in your own hands.
Hunter always aspired to be the top guy. That drive is essential for anyone entering this business. If you don't want to be the best, it's hard to understand your motivation.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready?
During the Attitude Era, when Austin was on fire,
Give me a hell yeah!
and The Rock was making waves in the Nation of Domination, Triple H took the reins of .tx. They were rivals, vying for the Intercontinental title, while The Rock began to break away from his faction. Observing this landscape, Triple H realized they needed a strong antagonist. So he approached Vince with the idea of bringing DX to a close, which didn't sit well with the rest of the group.
Do we all want it to happen? No, because we're all perfectly happy in the positions that we're at.
We were getting six-figure quarterly merchandising checks, man. We were all like, hey, man, we don't want to quit this. Go turn heel or whatever, but don't affect our money.
Here comes Triple H! Wait a minute! Wait a minute! No! No! Triple H has turned his back on X-Pac!
Ambition in this business is a dangerous thing.
Triple H laid out
I've turned my back. We all do it because we all have one goal in mind, and that's to be the best in this business.
With that, DX as we knew it was finished, and Triple H would go on to become one of the greatest heels in wrestling history.
I don't need anybody else, JR.
This is about me.
Villains are essential in pro wrestling. They are the driving force behind the drama.
It's about me getting what I deserve, and that is becoming the WWF champion. You guys talk about being students of the game. I am the game, JR.
We needed a compelling heel, and Hunter was eager for that challenge. For a kid dreaming of playing football, winning the Super Bowl is the ultimate goal. For a kid dreaming of being in WWE, winning the championship title is everything. It signifies that the company believes in you. It was clear that Hunter had the brightest future ahead among his peers. He was the one to invest in. Once Triple H stepped into the championship spotlight, DX began to splinter without his leadership. It's fascinating to consider how brief...
It just kind of splintered off.
It's really wild to think about how long or short the real run of DX at the top was. The whole thing was essentially less than 2 years. You talk about a meteoric rise. I mean, DX shows up, instantly has their presence felt, affects pop culture, has the whole world crotch chopping, and by the time you blink, you went from being 14 to 16 years old. It's over.
Everyone has a desire to showcase their capabilities and explore new horizons.
Please welcome the one and only Chyna.
Chyna emerged from the DX era as a true star, making a significant impact that was unprecedented at the time. She had the unique ability to transition seamlessly from wrestling in the ring to gracing the cover of Playboy. Her presence was larger than life, almost like a superhero. The influence she had on a generation of wrestling fans, particularly female fans, is beyond words.
Chyna, the first woman to become the Intercontinental Champion.
Joni believed that given her contributions to the company, she deserved to be compensated equally with the top male superstars. I recall a day when she approached Jim Ross and confidently asserted, "I know I should be earning as much as Stone Cold." It was quite a bold statement. She aspired to be the highest paid talent on the roster, convinced that she was on the brink of becoming a major Hollywood star and no longer needed WWE. As a result, she made demands that Vince found difficult to meet.
I get the fact that you're going to have confidence in yourself in such a crazy-ass business. She was the first woman I ever managed. I had close to 50 years in the business to make $1 million a year. But I could not meet her contractual demands, and they were demands to prevent her from leaving.
Once Triple H departed from DX and the group disbanded, his career continued to soar.
Please welcome the one, we hope the only, Triple H.
The same cannot be said for everyone else involved. X-Pac, for instance, briefly teamed up with Kane before joining a faction called X Factor, but his career trajectory began to decline.
Road Dogg got released. I think Chyna got released. Billy Gunn, you know, they tried. They gave him the King of the Ring.
We've got a new King of the Ring, and he's Billy Gunn.
I remember his short-lived feud with The Rock, which seemed promising at first.
Look at the leg.
For a crew that was so popular together, you know, it's sad to watch the trajectory, and eventually Triple H is just sort of the last man standing.
Fast forward to Shawn Michaels' return from injury. During his time away, Triple H had undergone a transformation into the Game. The anticipation of witnessing both competitors from 2002 in the same ring felt like a dream match that fans eagerly wanted to see. This led to an incredible rivalry between Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Once this intense storyline wrapped up, both superstars embarked on different career trajectories. However, they would reunite on screen in the summer of 2006 as if no time had elapsed. I remember watching them share laughs and enjoy each other's presence at ringside, which eventually led to the reformation of D-Generation X.
My God, ladies and gentlemen, it appears that we have just seen the reuniting of DX.
The revival of D-Generation X added an electrifying element to WWE programming. After an 8-year hiatus, the original members returned to provide a nostalgic experience for longtime fans.
You're not down with that. We only got 2 words for ya.
Their legacy remains timeless. When two best friends come together creatively, it results in something truly remarkable.
Take DX now and still make it this edgy, crazy, funny group.
The nostalgia of DX is still there. It's always there. It's always something that they can go back to. And so it was fun.
In recognition of their significant contributions, DX was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2019. This accolade cemented their status as one of the most iconic factions in wrestling history. Today, D-Generation X is celebrated not only for their memorable antics, but also for their influential role in shaping modern professional wrestling. Their impact continues to resonate with today's superstars.